mean to say that random reservation is not such a good idea. There is a reason that we have not seen women sarpanch perform differently from male sarpanch. If any of the empirical evidence is to be believed, then having random reservation for one round rotation is not going to have path-breaking, earth-shattering impacts. So you really have to make it based on some criteria. And if the whole idea of giving reservation is compensatory justice, which means you're trying to make it less costly for women to enter politics, then it has to be in those constituencies where women have been neglected the most. What happens in places like Kerala and all is that because they are a large part in the population, unlike most of the backward states where the sex ratio decline is alarming, women voters cannot be ignored by any candidates. So women's preferences are being catered to by all candidates who contest elections. So they cannot ignore them the way you would see people ignoring in the north. And that is, it's a chicken, it goes both ways, right? It's a bi-directional relationship, because a good sex ratio will mean that they will seek representation through voting, because voting is easy. It's not as expensive as standing, for public post. It has to go beyond numbers, absolutely. And the reason I say it has to go beyond numbers is because even if you had female, reservation policy implemented in the parliament, if the parties did not have internal reservations, or let's say equal opportunity within the parties, and they didn't have a pipeline of women leaders, where would they fill these seats from? So they are bound to go back to the Dimples and the Priyankas, no? So in that sense, what you're talking about is it cannot just be about numbers, it has to be about content, it has to be about actual representation. And that means parties have to do a lot of internal restructuring to create a pipeline of leaders who can then contest and win elections.